Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thanks again so much for joining me here. I hope you're having a phenomenal day. Quick look again at Bitcoin, seeing what's going on here. I sent out a trade alert last night to my community, of course, regarding this head and shoulders pattern. While it's not perfect, they never truly are, we can see that we are starting to see that breakdown finally happen. We also had a rising wedge, bearish backtest of the ascending lower trend line right here where the price action topped out. That's a very common characteristic to look for as well. So in general, it's not surprising that this is happening. I've mentioned to my community we have a handful of long positions we're looking at taking once the price pulls back a little bit further. And if the price does continue further down, just keep in mind we do have that CME gap between 58,500, roughly upwards about 61K. Those are round numbers, of course, but that's generally the range that we'll see in there. Now, is it a guarantee that's going to happen? No, definitely not. CME gaps don't always get filled. But I think that's giving some merit there to the price action starting to pull back. And a decent probability too, because there's a lot of fair value here as well, where the price wicked up and not a ton of secured profits yet. Okay, so again, just kind of throwing it out there. I don't think you should just get crazy with shorts, even though we do have a 10x short with Bitcoin currently open. Majority of our members have either closed that in full profit or just essentially maybe some of them are holding a little bit left open. I prefer to take 70-80% profit my first target and let the rest ride. So I'm hoping to secure a little bit more when the price action comes down to that lower 63, maybe 62K range. Let's talk about that though. If you look at here, liquidation, 62,000 is that lower level. There's billions of dollars between 62 and 62.5. That's a pretty heavy concentration of liquidation on the downside. Keep in mind there's a ton of liquidation on the upside, so just don't get it twisted. I think there's a good chance we're going to see Bitcoin still continue higher. It may not even continue much lower, but a lot of indicators are telling us that it wants to come down before it comes back up again later. My anticipation as the price comes down is fill that CME gap or something close to it, maybe that 0.382 fib level at 60,500 or 62.7 at the 0.5, and shoots up from there. Either way, I think we're definitely on the right side of tracks, especially with all the fundamental stuff that happened this last weekend with the assassination attempt on former President Trump. So again, a lot of little things that kind of are factoring in here, but profits are going to be taken. That's really what this boils down to. Okay. Having said all of that, if we do take a quick look here at the daily time frame, let's go and work our way down and understand kind of where we're at. So daily time frame is still looking good. You got to recognize we're still above all moving averages. Right now, we're tentatively losing the 50 and the 100, though. Generally not a good sign. It doesn't imply that we're just like, we got to short and just go crazy, but it does tell us, hey, we're not truly bullish and we can't just arbitrarily take longs without any regard. We also want to see here as well that we are getting close-ish or closer to 50 on the RSI. And there's that stochastic swing kind of letting us know, hey, the momentum is shifting. We got to prepare for it. Taking a look here at MACD, it's also converging, but starting to plateau. So that's generally favorable, but also not great, I guess you could say. I would generally speak to the daily time frame as kind of a neutral scenario. Okay, so I wouldn't think that the daily is like in a terrible situation at all. All right, just letting us know that we're still in good shape in the big picture. So you shouldn't be like super scared if the price pulls back. It's very, very common for this to occur. In fact, I've been expecting it for a while. Surprised it actually lasted this long. It would have made sense for the price to pull back sooner, but now that we're here, we got to recognize that 62,700 is 0.5 fib level, could very well hold here. And if it does, then we may want to consider a long in this area too, right? So again, I'm thinking about a handful of different situations, but as you can see, most altcoins are starting to pull back, starting to correct concurrent with Bitcoin. There's a lot of overextension. So it's no surprise that the prices are pulling back. All that being said, the daily time frame, we summarize is neutral-ish right now, okay? The 4-hour time frame is mostly bearish. We can see MACD is diverging. We talked about that yesterday. Even though we're over 50 in the RSI, we lost 70. You should have secured profits a long time ago. And then same thing here with stochastic is swinging back down again for the second time. That can carry more weight than the first. So all this being said, you got to recognize we just lost a 20-day SMA, or we're losing it, so to speak. It's not official yet. But hypothetically, we lose the 20-day SMA on the 4-hour. That's kind of just a bit of a shift in momentum. That's really all it is. It's not a bearish sign. It's not super crazy. It's just letting us know that for the most part, it's not favorable. It really just implies we want to kind of pay close attention and that the momentum is effectively shifting. It's very similar to like a divergence on the MACD, for example. You break below the 20, you just kind of want to pay closer attention. Bottom line, though, is we got a lot of important moving averages below the price action, which is good, right? We got some support at that 61.5, 60,500. So my speculation is that we're going to see a decent bounce here at 0.382. we may see an aggressive wick down to 58,500 and back up. If so, that's a perfect place to take a long position. So I'm definitely primed and ready to take a long somewhere in the 60.5 to 58.5 range if it comes down to there. Just blindly, almost as if, because anytime CME gaps are filled, oftentimes the price will just run the opposite direction. Okay, so again, something to kind of consider there. We'll probably see some liquidity sweepage down there if we even come down there. It may not even happen, folks. I'm not trying to attach myself, or I don't think you should attach yourself to the bias that we're just going to be dropping super hard and super far. I think it's tentative. We're going to be lucky if we can get into the low 60,000 range. That's just my personal opinion. Well, I'm glad I added to my bags at 54, 55, 56K. Anywhere in that range was nice. At this point, I'd be happy to do it again if we get closer to 60. All right, Ichimoku Cloud. We can see we're tentatively breaking down below the cloud. I say tentative because this hourly candlestick hasn't closed yet. We got 10 minutes left, but the truth is, even when we close below, it's still a little premature. You don't just start shorting because of that. Again, lagging span, being free and clear, it's kind of close to the price action, and the conversion line just barely broke below the baseline. So this is definitely a scenario in which we're seeing lower highs and lower lows, and the likelihood of the price going down further is greater. But again, it could very well be an opposite situation where the price action is essentially starting to flag out. We got to be careful about that too, okay? So again, there's a lot of things that could actually happen here, so I don't want you to just get blindly, all about the shorts right now. If you're in our community, you've probably secured some profits already on our current short, and yes, it's been a few days since I've taken a signal, but again, I've been communicating and letting you know specifically that we're waiting for a reason because we've expected this pullback. And while I do have a short open on Bitcoin, I don't like to short a lot of different coins as far as that's concerned. Again, it's just higher risk. It makes a lot less sense in the current market, especially when the overall trend is up. Even though that trend is starting to shift, it doesn't necessarily mean that you take a lot of positions to the downside just to try to offset the lack of trades for a few days. Okay, so again, just be patient, folks. I promise you it'll be worthwhile. Heaven forbid we miss our opportunity. We got some breakout trades that we're looking at with a couple of coins that have been retesting the resistance levels for a few days now. So again, awesome stuff. Either way, all more to come. If you are part of our community, though, just know there's a lot of cool little resources now available. I've got these, once again, these trade alerts that are kind of coming your way, so I provide you with very specific details on trades that I plan to take. Also, again, of course, there's that Bitcoin short at 20% and the recent Bitcoin long, what was it, 80% to the upside. So again, we're catching some good wins. I'm just trying not to get too crazy with the current market because while there's a lot of volatility, it's important to pump the brakes too. Either way, thanks again so much for watching. Hope you learned something. Comment below if you get a chance. Please like the video. And obviously join us over on Twitter, Telegram, Discord, YouTube, and now got some TikTok and YouTube shorts. A lot of fun. I appreciate you nonetheless. Have a good rest of your day. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.